Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Nelly of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you this evening with a special edition examination. This is actually volume 2. I had to look back. We did a Drinkin IPAs with the gang back in like November, December. So this is Drinkin IPAs with the gang, volume 2. Joining me tonight, we have Michael Kormaroff from Brooklyn. We've got Beer Man out on the West Coast. We've got Bumpy up there in New Hampshire. And then we got this guy down here, the Florida man himself, Mr. Miscellaneous Brew Reviews. Cheers, guys. Glad you guys could hang out with me. Looking forward to doing this. So, yeah, any IPA will do. Anybody in the chat that may be watching that wants to join, it's not too late. Let me know. I'll post the link in the public chat if you guys have an IPA and you want to join. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start with Mr. Michael Kormaroff. What are you drinking tonight, Michael?
You've heard me talk about 6 Point. This is one of their limited release items, and it's called Ddh Cryo Anti-Resin, and it's a hazy double IPA at 9.1. They're claiming it has 0 IBUs. We know they're full of baloney, but that's okay. They can say anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever. Let's say they have 1 IBU. There's an IBU in here. I don't care what they say, but it doesn't matter. They can lie.
Well, and it's double. The DDH is double dry hop, so it's got a ton of hops in it. So to say that it's 0 IBUs is really
it has IBUs. That's okay. We can accept it. They can fib if they want. This is what it looks like in the glass. It is definitely hazy.
Cheers to Jeremy Vinson. Good to see you back.
Okay, so in the glass, I guess you'd call the color dark orange, and it looks very juicy, and the head is white, and the bubbles are thick and solid, and you can see you're going to get a lot of head retention with this. I don't think the head's going to go down. I really don't. And you're getting carbonation. You cannot see through it because the haze like glooms it over. But definitely a good-looking beer if you can see it. It's in my Blue Point glass, an InBev company,
right
from Long Island. Anyway, we're not going to give any description now. We're just showing, right?
Well, yeah, we'll come back around. We'll just introduce all the beers real quick, and then we'll come back around for the aromas and the tasting. So we'll go to Beer Man next with his beer.
So this one's from Lewitt Brewing. Thanks, John, man. This one's from Lewitt Brewing Company. And these guys are out of Vancouver, Washington. They call that Potcouver or something, or it's like the pot capital of this side of the area. Lewitt Brewing Company, though. This is their the Shadow Shinobi IPA. So it's I guess you guys were saying it takes after the Sega Genesis kind of games or whatever. And I do remember playing those quite a bit when I was younger. That was the big thing. Mount St. Helens. It's brewed with pride in the shadow of Mount St. Helens. Yeah, it doesn't have a date. It is a 7.2%. Let's pour it. Oh, God. What the hell is that? What? Oh, I poured my beer in my clean glass that I was drinking, and I meant to pour it in. Anyway, got a dirty glass here.
That's all right.
All right. So this is definitely a West Coast IPA. It's got the clarity. It's not hazy. It's not. It looks American for sure. American style. Nice 2-finger head. Well, it's really candy forward, like a candy thing going on. Soapy, actually weird. A little amber colored. It's chill hazed. It's got a slow rising bubble. A little bit effervescent, but it's slow rising. Yeah, not a bad beer. Can't wait to get into it. Cheers, John. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Absolutely. Jeremy says he's got an IPA. I posted the link in the chat. Anybody that's got an IPA that wants to join, just hop on. We're just having a good time. Drinking some hoppy beers and hanging out. Meantime, we got to go to Mr. Bumpy Road Brewery, BRB down or up there, I should say, in New Hampshire.
Enjoy that.
What are you drinking,
beer
Bumpy?
I was gonna bring.
All right, from Lagunitas, I have their Maximus Colossal IPA, which is 9% ABV. They didn't put a bottled on date anywhere on that. I was checking the bottleneck. Sometimes Lagunitas will do a very faint stamp line on the bottleneck with their date, but they didn't do that. So no date to be found, but I just started seeing this within the past month in the stores. So, yeah, go ahead and crack this open, give it a pour.
It's not. It's
Now
not.
there was a Maximus that they had out before, but it was not 9% ABV. So
Right.
I don't
the
know.
regular I've had the regular Lagunitas Maximus IPA. The Colossal is like their imperial version. Much higher alcohol. I think the regular Maximus was like 7.5.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So
All right. Yeah, it pours with a nice tight white bubbled head. The color of the beer itself is a deep, like gold to amber or copper, very clear. So it could be like a West Coast style IPA. It has some good bubble action going up through. Probably not going to show up, but it has some decent. Probably I based off the bubbles that are coming up through carbonation, I would say it's probably in the medium realm, anyways. But you don't really know until you get it on your palate. Sometimes you're surprised. Cheers!
Right.
Looks like a nice beer. First time having
cheers.
it.
All right. Absolutely. Can't wait to see what you think about that one. Let's go to miscellaneous and see what he's drinking tonight. He did have the same beer as Bumpy, but he's fully, he's fully loaded and ready to go at a moment's notice. You
Got
want to
more
drink the
beer.
same beer.
More beer.
So he's got something else. What you drinking, miscellaneous?
All right, tonight I've got something from Captain Lawrence Brewing Company. It's called Interstellar Fog. It's a New England IPA. I believe it's a double New England IPA. Dry hop with Lotus, Mosaic, and Bravo hops. That's can art there. ABV is 8.5%. Hit my store at 4/6/2021. Has a can down date of 3/20/21, so fairly fresh. And it made a long trip because I believe this is out in New York, Elmsford.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
A long way, real quick.
Wow, it looks pretty hazy, juicy.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a New England IPA if I ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
2-finger white head. It's pretty frothy. Doesn't look too soapy. Bubbles are getting bigger though. Looks juicy. Cheers.
That's good, dude. Damn.
Nice. Okay. We'll come back around to you here in a little bit. I am drinking a growler. Shout out to Ace Growlers in downtown Noonan. I go there all the time. They have great beers on tap. This one here is the Old Nation Brewing Company. Like I thought it was local. Usually they have a ton of local stuff, and they do, but I just assumed this was a Georgia brewery. Old Nation Brewing Company. They're actually out of Michigan. This is the Boss Tweed Double IPA, 9.3% alcohol. And I already poured it up. It did pour with about a finger's worth of a nice frothy white head. As you can see, the head has died down, but it looks like a straight New England juice bar. It looks like orange juice with just a tiny little bit of head there on top. So it's definitely got that juicy, hazy look to it. Cannot see through it at all, no matter how much light I put through it. So a great appearance, and it smells super juicy, tropical, fruity. So looking forward to getting into it. Let's go back around now. Thanks, everybody, in the comments. We got Jeremy Vinson. We got Tommy Carroll. We got STD Podcast, a.k.a. Joey Edibles. We got Blake TV. We got John Womack. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, especially late notice. These things are kind of just spur of the moment a lot of times. Really appreciate you guys joining. And if anybody has an IPA and wants to join, it's not too late. The link is in the public chat, so you guys can drink an IPA along with us if you want to join. If not, just enjoy the show and drink along with us while staying in the chat. In the meantime, we got to go back. We're going to go back into the actual reviews and breakdown of all of these beers. We're going to start with Michael Kormaroff. Let me pull you up, Michael. Give me just a second. If I can, come on. Drag. There we go.
So here's the look of the can.
I'll go ahead and take down
16-ounce can, 6-point Ddh Cryo Anti-Resin, 9.1%, and it was limited release. I think it was brewed. Let's take a look on the back, on the bottom. It was brewed in December of last year, so it's going on a little over 4 months old. Holding up pretty well from what I can see, and you can see it in the glass over here. It's a hazy.
That's a good looking beer.
Hazy look, and you notice, like I said, the head is actually retaining itself really well, and the look, like the other beer you look through before, you cannot see through it. It's the haze is covering the beer, which is a good thing for a New England style. I'll get a nose on it. You're getting tropical fruits in the nose. You're getting like a resin kind of thing. It's kind of a dank nose. Maybe a little bit of citrus, but it's more in the back. It's more tropical than it's citrus. But maybe there's a little bit of citrus in the nose as well. Let me get a taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, Michael.
Wow.
Cheers.
This is really good. The first thing, it's 9.1, and it drinks like a session beer. So they've covered the alcohol really well. I guess it must be the combination of the way they've done the hops together with the malts. And it tastes, like I say, if you told me that this was 5.8%, I could accept it. But it's medium mouthfeel. And I made some notes over here. There's bitterness, but it's funny. It's definitely limited bitterness. So you wouldn't call this a bitter beer, but the bitterness is mild. But like I say, we're not going to argue with 6 Point if they want to claim on their whatever scale they have that there's no IBUs. Guess they can. But bitterness wouldn't be something you would say as a highlight for this. It's mild. Getting grapefruit in this, so you are getting some citrus in this. You're getting a very nice juicy flavor. What else did I write down? Let's see. A little, like pineapple taste.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a little tropical too. A lot of stuff going on, but it does seem to be very well balanced.
I know you're not a big mango guy, but I remember when I had that one. Of course, I appreciate you sending it to me. It's the anti-resin, right? So it's the regular resin, which I get down here regularly. It's super West Coast piney, resinous, bitter, grapefruit. That one's all up front with the tropical fruit. Are you getting any mango notes?
I am not getting any mango. Maybe a little bit of passion fruit.
Okay.
But I think the best thing about this is it's so well balanced. There's a certain complexity to it, and yet it's well balanced. And I've always been somebody who thought that 6 Point does a really good job with these type of IPAs, this New England style. Their brewer does come from Trillium. So, they have there's something in the history of Trillium, and I think Bumpy's had Trillium. You've had Trillium. So, I mean, you've had something. Yeah. That's where the brewer came from, the one who's brewing 6 Point now. So he has a history of knowing how to brew a New England style.
That's why Trillium beers aren't as good anymore.
Maybe you know what it is. Maybe Bumpy that this guy was the key, and once he left, the replacements weren't as good. I don't know. But,
well, I tell you, that one there, that's obviously only available up there. We can't get it down here, but you were kind enough to send me one. I thought it was pretty much world class. The other one that's readily available here is the Mind Control, which is I think it's 8.8%. so a little bit less, but it's still a double, and it's juicy, fruity, just a hazy New England style IPA, and it doesn't get much better down here. This like the 6 point stuff that we get here is just incredible, and I'm so glad that they are distributing down here now. So hopefully, master blend. That's my hopes are that the master blend makes its way down here. But
they got it in Total Wine down here.
The master blend,
13%. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, there's hope then, because if you're because it falls into that regulation, the state law for Georgia is 14% or less for beer. So if you're getting it down in Florida, then that makes me hopeful that maybe I'll get it here in Georgia in the next year or so. But the master blend.
I'll come back with a number after everybody else gives their.
Absolutely. All right. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's go to the beer man.
All right. Cool, man. So this one is good, man. It's piney. Wow, it's very piney. All right, so this poured about maybe a 2-finger head. Let's go ahead and see if I can twirl it without spilling. Oh shoot.
Nice.
Yeah, so a nice head, good lacing starting up there. Let's go into the aromas. Yeah, pine is a big one in this. Pine and grapefruit are big in the back entry, in the back of the nose, right in the back there. You can kind of get this nice piney, grapefruity kick. It's got a nice like a candied caramel kind of, well, not caramel, candied. I don't know, it's like a candied malt or something. It's really weird. It's like sweet smelling, floral, a little spicy. It's weird. All right, looking at it, man. White head, the retention's nice. It's keeping its stuff up. It's not going down. It just keeps this nice little layer, nice little lacing thing going on there. 7.2%. It's a amber, kinda. It's like a light amber, like a light honey. Let's say a deep honey or something.
Let's say, yeah,
honey colored.
honey.
Yeah, kind of honey colored or something. Yeah, but it's clear. It's got a chill haze to it. It's a medium slow rising bubble. Not bad. Let's go into the drink. Cheers.
Cheers, beer man.
Yeah, pine in the back is big. Nice piney floral dryness with that grapefruit kind of rindiness in the back. The body is a medium body. Wow, it's really tingly with piney resinous like feels in the back. It's really tingly. It's really sticking on the little in the back of the throat. It's really whoa.
Your usual.
It's like it's boxing with it or something. It's really hitting it. But it's floral. It's got this nice little floral kick. The malts are bready, white bread. Yeah, kind of a white bread. Grapefruit, pine are the big ones. Very West Coasty, West Coast, for sure. Like, and candy, dry. There's a chalkiness on the tongue I'm getting. Really, no, that's kind of weird. It's not bad, it's not my favorite. I'm not into like this. This is kind of like this sharp cheddar cheese of piney hops. It's got that. It's just got a real resinous piney kick that's like almost intolerable. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, I get that. The resinous stuff. Like I love West Coast IPAs, but the balanced ones like Lagunitas, Hop Stupid is one that comes to mind. It's balanced with the malt and that resinous quality you're talking about. It's almost like after you drink maybe like half the beer, it's so resinous and so bitter that it's almost unpleasant, right? To continue to drink it.
Very Simcoe-y too, like a caddy kind of piney. I'm getting caddy this week. What? It's the theme of caddy for me this week. No, you're right though. It does. That piney, if it gets too far up in it, it's like it's unbearable. Like you got to have a softness, a sweetness, a balance that's perfect with it, like the fruitiness or the tropical or the citrus working really well with it. And I'm not getting that. The grapefruit works with it, but it's very rindy and adds to the frustration. So I'm not totally into this beer, although if they, not if based on the style, I would have to say it's probably very close to what it's supposed to be. I mean, for the most part. So I'm not going to knock it. It's just not what I really, as far as like a West Coast, it's hard to explain. I don't know why it's so hard, but I do like a more of a well-rounded when it comes to like fruity, citrusy, breaking down that soft, smooth with the freaking pine is fine. But when you get that pine craziness, it's like,
Right.
it's too much, man. So yeah,
would
it's
you-
not bad though. It's just not really my
Would you
thing.
describe it as a palate wrecker because it is so resinous and in your face, or?
Yeah, you'd have to drink some water or have like a stout or something after to kind of break down, or have some crackers to kind of break down your taste buds, like have some bread or something. And palate wrecker for sure, dude.
Really? Okay.
So
I find
not
that
bad.
a lot. Yeah,
not bad.
I mean,
So,
I find that a lot of the West Coast IPAs are like that. It's very few and far between where you find them to where they're so well balanced. But I mean, it sounds like they did exactly what they were trying to do with that beer, as far as with that style. But anyway, yeah, sounds good. We'll come back to you here shortly. We still got to go to let's see. We got to bring up Bumpy, I believe, next. So
All right. So I
Bumpy.
got that Maximus Colossal IPA there from Lagunitas. It's leaving some nice lacing along the glass. The aromas in this. First, there is a sweetness that first hits my nostrils. It's a bit on the kind of citrus tangerine type note, but kind of candied. So like a candied orange, we'll call it that. There's a pininess as well, but the pine doesn't hit me like a typical pine. It comes off like a balsamic pine, or balsam pine, not balsamic because that would be vinegar. A balsam pine. There's just something different about the pine that comes off in this. But yeah, kind of candy orange and a sweeter pine nose. A little bit of some malt shining through as well with that sweetness. Candied like a sweet bread. Sweet bread is what I'm going to call it.
Ooh, okay.
nice.
Cheers, Bumpy.
Low side medium body to this one. Good medium carbonation. It does do the kind of California IPA thing where it does dry out the palate. And it follows suits with a lot of the flavors of a California IPA as well. It does have a decent malt and hop balance. The malt, it does come off of this kind of like sweet bread flavor. So it's not like wicked biscuity. It doesn't taste like bread crust or toast or anything like that. It doesn't just taste like white bread, but it does taste like a sweet bread. There is the notes of that pine coming through pretty significantly. But like I said, it's not just like a regular pine. It is like a sweeter pine. So I'm going with like a balsam pine or like a mountain pine. There's just something different about this pine. A little bit of orange blossom, some floralness as well is coming through in the flavors. Bitterness is balanced for what it is. I'd say it's moderately bitter, but I think that sweet malt presence does just balance it all out. So I'm not left with like this disgusting, harsh bitterness. It's just kind of you get the malt and you get the hops, the flavors of the hops, and then that flavor of the hop carries through with the bitterness all the way throughout. 9% ABV. I mean, the alcohol is not present in the flavor at all. It doesn't even mix with the pine. A lot of times, I can start to confuse the alcohol flavor with pininess, or sometimes the pine might make me think of alcohol flavor, because sometimes it just seems to, I don't know, for me, it just seems to kind of intermingle a bit with some alcohol or pine. But like I said, this pine is different. It's not like a typical pine that you just find in a lot of like West Coast IPAs. It's sweeter. It's got a sweetness to it. Yeah, so 9% ABV is well hidden. I think it's going to hit you in the bloodstream. You're going to feel it. But as far as the flavor, it doesn't drink like it's a 9%er at all. Besides the sweetness, I guess, that comes through.
Okay.
Nice.
Fairly nice IPA. I'll be thinking of a score for it.
He's got some great
Nice.
color to it.
Yeah. One interesting thing, not to drag on too long, I know we're getting through everybody, but one thing I've noticed with Lagunitas is it reminds me of like an American, like you have these Belgian ales with the candy sugar and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, so Lagunitas, they have the brown sugar, they have the Lagunitas sucks, they have a lot of their beers are a little bit more on the malty and the sweet side. It's like they add extra sugar that's not always eaten up by that alcohol, and it's a little bit, you get a little bit more sweetness from a lot of the beers that they put out, which I personally like because they're always hop heavy beers. Their IBUs are always through the roof for, I would say, like 90+% of their beers. So it's nice to get that balance, that sugary sweetness sometimes, even if it's only, just a little bit, to kind of balance out the hop heavy presentation that you get with a lot of their beers. So I'll be interested to see what you think of for a rating for that. We've still got to go to Mr. Miscellaneous Brew Reviews, a.k.a. Drew, a.k.a. Gangster White Boy. Let's pull him up here. This fancy lighting. Look at this. He looks all – love it. All right.
Yeah, so for Captain Lawrence, the Interstellar Fog, 8.5%. It definitely, like I said, looks the part. This looks like a juicy New England IPA.
It looks radioactive, honestly. It looks like it's got some kind of glow.
Lit up, electrified, man.
Yeah.
You shut up. How about that? All right, so for the nose. All right, so for the nose, man.
Cheers, man.
Definitely, I definitely get. It's more. I get fruit and I get hop notes out of this. I get like a slight vanilla orange coming off of it, but the hop note is more like a floral, earthy, I definitely pick up stone fruits, tropical for sure. It's like mango, grapefruits, pineapple. I might have got passion fruit earlier. It's been sitting for a bit, but it's got a little. I think it's more like a hop spice than it is more like a zest. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they use like the rind and stuff. This smells like more of the spices come from the hoppiness. It's got a.
Okay.
You could smell it on the nose. So, yeah. Cheers, guys. Looks good.
Cheers.
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 So, definitely a medium body beer. More towards, I'd be leaning towards the full side. I definitely wouldn't call this a full body beer, but the mouthfeel is silky smooth, and I think that's brought up to the Bravo hops in this. I mean, what they do in this, I mean, they're high alpha acids, which allows for bitterness, but it finishes smooth. So, I mean, it's nice. I get that pine, that earthy, and it's just very, very balanced. The finish is good. It's not too dry, but you do get a slight bittering. Flavor-wise, for what the fruits are, I mean, it's as tropical as it could be. I get oranges, grapefruit, pineapple, mango, passion fruit, maybe. Not if it's there, it's more in the background. Absolutely phenomenal, man. This is the last one of these I had. I actually brought this to Hop Happy Wednesday last week. And Captain Lawrence, I like their company. I'm sticking with their IPAs. I had a few stouts that I was disappointed with, but then I had some IPAs, and I feel like that's the way to go with them. And this is a really good beer. And yeah, they got the independent craft sticker. So there you
Nice.
go. Not bad. I would buy it again, and it wasn't too expensive.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, we'll come back around here shortly, and we'll let you give your rating. I guess that just leaves me, huh? For my no, if I can pull myself up. Let's try this again. I'm trying. There it goes. Finally. All right. So, yeah, the beer that I'm drinking tonight, I thought it was a Georgia beer, but it's not. I got a growler at Ace Growlers, downtown Noonan. This is the Old Nation Brewing Company. They're out of Michigan. This is their Boss Tweed Double IPA. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to top it off here since I'm going now. It's 9.3% alcohol. The IBUs were listed on 2 different websites, and they were different, so I don't really know what to tell you. I can tell you, though, that this beer got a world-class rating on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. There's the appearance. It's definitely hazy. It looks like orange juice with a head. The aromas with this tropical fruit, just right up front. You get pineapple, a little bit of mango. I know Michael might not be happy about that, but yeah, definitely getting some mango. A little bit of passion fruit, possibly some guava in there as well. This is pretty much like a tropical paradise on the aroma. 9.3%. What 9.3%? There is no alcohol presence with this at all. It doesn't smell like it's going to be super bitter at all. There's a lot of hop character, but it doesn't smell resinous. It doesn't smell piney or grapefruit-like. Just tropical fruit with a nice like wheat bready note in the background, and none of that 9.3%. It smells absolutely delightful. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, John.
Cheers,
Your
man.
tiny glass.
Wow. Wow. Tropical
Baby.
fruit. The first, let me see. Okay. So tangerine, citrus, on the orange side of things. That's really the first thing that's coming up. I didn't mention that on the aroma because I wasn't getting it, but that's the first taste that I'm picking up on. It's like a tangerine citrus. I'm getting a little bit of papaya. I'm getting a little bit of pineapple, some guava, a little bit of mango. I mean, every tropical fruit. I mean, dragon fruit, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's not really. I mean, there's like fruits that I don't even know about that are probably
Dragon
in this
fruit.
beer. I mean, this is just, it's got a ton of tropical fruit action. Once you get through that tropical fruit sweetness, it leads into a nice bready center. There's nothing about flaked oats in this beer, but it has that flaked oat feel to it. It's definitely got a nice like wheat breadiness to it as well, like a graininess, but like in a really good way, like wheat bread notes. So like if you were to take a nice piece of wheat bread, toast it, put a little butter and some jam on it, some preserves like mango, pineapple, papaya preserves on it. It's like the best kind of toast that you could imagine. It's really enjoyable. The 9.3 is masked. There's no alcohol presence at all. It doesn't even, I've had this in the glass now for, I don't know, we've been live for 34 minutes. It's been in the glass. It's been out of the fridge for at least half an hour, and there's no warming sensation going down. It drinks like a session. It's got a creamy mouthfeel. The carbonation is relatively low, which for this particular beer, I think it works really well because if it had a medium or a high carbonation, it would decrease the drinkability factor because of that prickliness, that carbonation. It's super smooth. It's got that creamy mouthfeel. Like if it were to have, it may have flaked oats in it. I couldn't find that out for sure, but it's almost got like a lactose feel to it. Like it's really smooth, and it's just a damn delightful beer. So I'll keep sipping on it and think of a rating, but this is outstanding. I see why it gets the world-class scores on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. It's just, if you like juicy New England style hazies, you're going to love this because it's just a fruity, juicy explosion in your mouth, and it's got that creamy, dreamy mouthfeel that just works so well with this style. And I don't know what the IBUs are, but whatever they are, this drinks close to, 6 Point likes to claim there's 0 IBUs. This drinks very close to a minimal. I would say like 0 to 15 IBUs. It drinks very, very low on the IBU scale as far as the bitterness is concerned. It's very minimal in that regard. So I'll keep sipping on it, think of a rating. I want to bring everybody back up. I want to thank everybody in the chat. We had a lot of great comments. I don't think I really missed anything. Thrash Metal said he would have joined, but he doesn't have any IPA. Dio did his 1 liter chug challenge, and he did pretty good, actually. He just posted it on his channel earlier. Tommy Carroll says concise review. Thank you. I don't feel like it was very concise, but I do my best. The more alcohol I drink, the less concise my reviews get. So I'm working on that. All right, Miss. Okay. All right, everybody. So let's go back around. We'll go ahead. We'll give our final thoughts and ratings on all these beers. I think we're out of whack here. I want to say that Michael was first, right? So let's go back to Michael with his final thoughts.
As I'm listening to everybody talking, I'm sipping on this, and my beer is almost exactly the same with the smoothness. The same smoothness that Miscellaneous had and John had in their beer. This one is there also. The only thing that I'm getting, which I really find to be a really super positive thing, and John, since you've had it also, if you remember this, there's a lot of depth in this. In other words, it's almost like as you get your aftertaste, it's deep. And you don't get that in every hazy IPA that you drink and double. So this one, it's almost like there's a depth in it where the final taste you get, that kind of aftertaste, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't want to just.
That was one of the best.
The best beer.
Yeah.
But it's one. I'm giving it a 98. I'm not giving it a 99. I'm giving it a 98. But this is among some of the better New England IPAs I've ever. Now I've never had a Trillium. Maybe like I said, maybe it's past the time where they were. So maybe having one now doesn't matter. I've had a Treehouse one that was really good. That I found to be really good.
Lucky.
I've never had Treehouse. Yeah,
it was called Green. Have you ever had Green, Bumpy, from Treehouse?
Yeah, I had Green last week. If John had
on YouTube,
while John was visiting, I gave him the if he happened to stay a little bit longer, I said I would have driven him up to Treehouse. Could have done a Treehouse day.
Because I thought that Green was an amazing beer too.
I'm traveling very soon.
Really good. So I don't want to overdo it, but I find some of the 6 Point beers now to be world class. Just the whole top end of their catalog is definitely world class. I will give a shout out for Stout Sunday, John, this Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I know that Miscellaneous and Bumpy both work, so that makes it hard for them to come. But and Beer Man at 7:30. Maybe you can set your alarm and decide to go. Go for it.
Hey, early morning wake and bake, man.
You say to the wife, I'm heading out for a quick morning breakfast beer.
Yeah, don't wait, honey. I'll be right back.
Right.
So I understand the West Coast at 7:30 is kind of early.
I know it's rough. It's rough. Yeah.
I do
They
understand.
love beer here, though. It's probably acceptable.
Should I go to bed or do I have a stout?
So I'm going with a 98.
Nice.
98. That's awesome. I think that
Very good
falls,
score.
right in there in that world-class range for you, which is awesome. I agree. I think I gave it, honestly, I think I gave it a 97 or 98 when we examined it on my channel, which that's one of the ones that still posted people. If you want to go back and watch it, you can. Okay, so let's go to Beer Man and his Lewitt Brewing Shadow Shinobi 7.2%. What do you think of Beer Man as final thoughts and ratings on that beer?
Well, just what I've written here, just going off my notes here, I'm going to read right through it like a poem. Great head and retention, not bad though. It wasn't bad. It did its part. Good looking beer. It looked great. When I went into it, I was dying to try it. I've tried it before, but you know what I mean? Like when you see something, you're like, oh, I want to try it. It just looks good. I want to have it. Sweet white bread, though, is what I got in the feel, in the nose, in the flavor. Going on both flavor and nose here. Lemon, orange, aroma flavors intertwined well with the grapefruit citrusiness, though. It was like this lemon orange with the grapefruit kind of citrusy feel in the back end. So it really kind of like told a story going through the tongue and the palate and stuff like that as you drank it. Very Westy American for sure. West Coasty, West Coast, as the South Africans say. Not bad, but a bit too rigid, dry and impalatable. It got a little weird towards the back. A little dry pininess and the grapefruit rindiness kind of dwelled within it, and it started to get bad. I was all, due to the piney, phlegmy buildup. It was resinous and funky, but not a bad Westie. Let's say that much. Not a bad Westie. Not a bad West Coast American IPA. Scored this at an 88 out of 100, high B, A- range. So really not bad. Good, so I don't know that I would buy it again. A 6-pack, let's say. I would get a single of it to put into my sixer, but I wouldn't go buying a fucking $10, excuse me, a $10, I'm sending me an on your channel, but a 10, I wouldn't go buying a $10 or $11 6-pack, and I never have. I've never bought a 6 of this. It's always been just one single. I have had this like maybe 1 or 2 times in the past. I just forgot how it tasted, but
Right.
yeah, not bad though. I'm glad we did IPAs. That's great. It's one of my favorite styles, whether it's English, American, wherever. I love these. I love.
What's your just kind of real quick? What's your favorite? Since you are a big IPA guy and we're drinking IPAs tonight, what is your favorite type of IPA? Are you like the West Coast? You like the Belgians? You like the New England style? You like what's your? Do you have a favorite?
My favorites are, of course, the East Side because they're softer, they're fruitier, they're aromatic. I like the Nipas. I like the Dnipas. I like anything double. I like it, double it up. But I also like the Milkshake IPAs. I really like Milkshake IPAs quite a bit. I think those are wonderful. Some people think they're foo-foo, but I really do really love them so much. So they fall in line with the smoothie sours as well, So it's kind of nice. It kind of has the same similarity. Not so much sour, but nice. So I love like I said, I love IPAs. That's definitely my favorites is the Milkshake and the Nipas. But yeah, good. This is great, man. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and Beer Man does his. He's got the Beer and Cheese Tuesday, which is like his big show, and then he does he alternates between like Hop Happy and the Malt Wednesday theme.
One more show of Hop Happy.
Yeah. Anything else you want to throw out while we're talking about your channel? Great channel. If you guys haven't already checked out Beer Man, get on it. He does great beer reviews, and then he does excellent shows like this, which I wish I could join more of. But yeah, he does an excellent job on his channel. The beer and cheese is probably like the biggest thing. Like everybody knows about beer and cheese, but anything else? Did I miss anything?
Oh no, the beer and cheese is definitely a staple as far as lives on my channel. I'm very glad to happy to have Miscellaneous and Bumpy Road to be able to start that with me in the beginning. It's gone quite a ways. But no, you know, I get these whimsical times where I like to just let it go, you know, and I don't care what it looks like. I like to dance. I like to sing. I like to just have fun. And you know, during this COVID fucking time, it's like, damn it, word.
Oh, it's fine.
No, but during this time,
this is late night. This isn't Stout Sunday. Anything goes tonight. You just let the words fly.
Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. But it is nice to be able to let go and get past all this crap and that's going on, and just having fun. You know, doing what you feel happy with. I don't care if I look like an idiot. I don't give a crap. Comment and let me know how much of an idiot I look like, and then I'll round it out like a beer. Yeah, right on, man. No, thank you, John. Cheers, man.
Awesome.
Cheers,
yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Cheers. All right, well let's go down to Bumpy and let him give us his final thoughts and ratings on the Lagunitas Maximus Colossal IPA. I hope I didn't butcher that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic beer. Another beer that I thought was fantastic as well comes from the West Coast. Beer Republic. I was trying to think of the Beer Republic and their Racer X or Racer 10.
Okay.
Is another fantastic West Coast IPA. And I rated that one pretty high as well. I don't know which one would be better. I might have to do a side by side, or maybe if everybody can get both of those beers, this beer, the Lagunitas Maximus Colossal IPA, and the Racer X. Yeah, we could do like a side by side panel and just see which one's better, because I don't even remember what I rated that one, but I'm pretty sure I rated in the high 90s, and I'm going to rate this one as well in the high 90s. This Lagunitas. I'm going to give it a 98 out of 100.
Hell yeah!
Wow. Okay.
Damn. It's really good. What I like about it is like that balance with the sweetness from the malts, the way that the pine just comes off differently. But it's not just pine, and you know, it's like I was picking up on that kind of like orange marmalade. There's that floral note. There's a few subtle nuances in there. But it's that sweet bread malt and everything, and where it just all balances out, and it doesn't have that harsh bitterness. It's bitter, but it's not harsh. It's not like, oh, you're not left with this nastiness in your mouth after you drink the beer. You know, it's like, oh, there's some nice flavors in there, and then you're just left with
that's what hell is.
It's like Lagunitas. They put out the Waldo, the triple one.
That was actually not bad, but it had an intense bitterness to it, but it wasn't. Balance. It was still a sweet beer, malty.
The thing I didn't like about the Waldo this year was that it was supposed to be super dank, and that one was not.
That's
not as dank as I would have thought. No.
Yeah, that's one that changes every year, though, too. You got to be careful. Like, I tried it back in 2016 and then again in 2018, and I'm pretty sure I rated it like 98, 99 out of 100. I thought it was world class. And then Bumpy, I remember Bumpy talking about it. He didn't think so highly of it, but that's a 2020 or 2021 version. So, like, every year it's a little bit different. So you just, I mean, you're kind of, they change it up a little bit. And it sounds like it was a little bit more bitter, and they didn't focus as much on like the candy, sweet caramel notes. And it was more like dank resinous and not as balanced as it has been in previous years. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those hit or miss kind of. Like, you know, every year is going to be a different experience. And then that would be one, like if Bumpy, if you had aged that for 2 or 3 years, you might, you know, you get a completely different experience. That would be one that would be a good one to cellar as well.
I
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I guess shout outs too. You want me to do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Go for it. Shout out.
I let Michael Kormaroff choose what we're going to do for Multi Monday since we had a tie. So it's the Scotch Ale Multi
Oh,
Monday.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So get
well, there
yourself
that
a
goes.
Scotch
Right.
Ale.
It is a Scotch. Yeah. Okay.
okay.
I'll make a little video and I'll hopefully find a whole list of Scotch ales. And there's probably going to be some that say "wee heavy" in there as well because it's very,
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
mixed.
interchangeable.
like,
yeah.
but
Terminology.
look for a
Ale and
Scotch.
IPA.
Look for something that
Yeah.
says Scotch ale on it, please.
Right.
Right.
There's
All
plenty
right.
of them out there. They're pretty
Forgive
easy
me
to
if
find.
I'm not there. I'll try. I'll do my best.
I will try to join this. It's been probably 3 or 4 weeks since I've joined, so I will really make an effort to join this next one, as well as After Dark Beers. Bumpy didn't publicize that, but he's got every Sunday night After Dark Beers, which is basically any dark beer that's not colored with, as long as it's a dark beer from the roasted malts, then you're good to go. Okay. So let's go ahead. We still got to go to miscellaneous, and he's got to give us his final thoughts and rating on the Captain Lawrence Brewing Interstellar Fog 8.5%. What do you think?
What I think, huh? That's really what I think. I think Bumpy shouldn't have picked the same beer I was trying to drink. No, I'm just kidding. This is really
Talk
good.
about that next time.
No, because like I said, I brought this to Hop Happy Wednesday last week, and this beer really shines. You said with the Mosaic, the Lotus, and the Bravo hops, man. Like I said, Lotus off the top, I got the orange vanilla, and that's what that hop's supposed to bring. Mosaic is stone fruits all around. It's kind of. It is. It's just very tropical New England style IPA, and smooth, drinkable. 8.5%. Can't smell it. Can't taste it. You have too many, you'll be in trouble. And it's done. But the thing that I think that brings everything together, though, like I said last week, is the Bravo hops, and there's not a lot of beers that use that, but it does have like it's a high alpha hop, and it brings a bitterness that rounds out with a smooth finish, and it absolutely brings that to the table. So I think I scored this a 94 on Hop Happy Wednesday, and I do feel really comfortable with that. It's a really good New England IPA. Would I buy it again? Absolutely, hands down. It was moderately priced. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Look out for some more miscellaneous brew reviews tomorrow. At some point, I'm supposed to be getting up with the Drunken one, and we're going to be doing a review of the Raspberry Hibiscus Dragon's Milk, which is a retired beer.
I've had it. I've had that one.
So yeah, at some point tomorrow, if you have the bell rang and your notifications on, you'll see that, and we'll be drinking that tomorrow. Other than that, it's pretty much it. Bring shit on a shingle for Friday at Food Friday, and yeah, Alex the Beer Master.
All right.
Nice.
Appreciate you.
Nice. All right. Thank you, miscellaneous. Okay, so that leaves me with my beer. Once again, what the hell is it? Old Nation out of Michigan. This is the Boss Tweed Double IPA, 9.3%. I agree, really, with the beer, the reviews and the ratings on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. I usually don't look at those, but I looked it up specifically to just get a little bit more information on this beer, because when you get a growler, they just give you a little tag. It has very minimal information. So I wanted to learn a little bit about it. I thought it was a Georgia brewery, but obviously it's not. So a lot of people may be able to get this beer. I agree with the ratings on these websites for a change. I usually don't agree with Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, but I'm going to go 98 out of 100. I think, which for me just falls right into that world-class category. as far as a juicy double New England style IPA, it does not get better than this. It really does not. Not much better. I mean, maybe Trillium Treehouse, but I mean, we're talking, it's right there on the cusp. It's got all the tropical fruit notes, every tropical fruit that you can think of. It's very complex with the tropical fruit notes. It's got that nice bready center. The 9.3% is masked well. The carbonation is low, and it's got that creamy mouthfeel, almost as if they had added lactose, which I think that's just coming from the flaked oats, not that there's any lactose in here. But it's got a nice creamy mouthfeel, and it's just outstanding. It really is an outstanding beer. So I'm going 98 out of 100. Definitely worth checking out. I don't have any shout outs other than, Stout Sunday, 10:30 Eastern on my channel. Porter Stout, anybody's welcome to join. We just basically do what we're doing here. Just review our beers, have a good time, and, shoot the shit. Okay. So
Hey, I like how you did that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yes, I need my internet is back. Thank you, Jesus, for that. If anybody has any final thoughts or comments, now would be the time. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're going right on the hour mark, which is a good good time frame for these types of events. Anybody got any final thoughts or comments? Anything interesting coming up that you want to talk about before we go off air?
Not on my end.
Are you pointing at your ghost that touches you?
I don't know. This way is like pointing. I don't know what he's pointing at. All right.
Let's do
we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I want to thank.
John.
Yes.
The average of the 5 beers is 95.2, so it's pretty high.
I
We
think
did have 398,
good.
which brings the average up, but I mean, still pretty good.
Not bad.
I think that's great. Yeah. So a successful evening drinking IPAs with the gang. Volume 2. I thought my first one had got deleted, but you can go back on my examinations under playlist, and there was another one of these. We actually had, I think, 8 people on that one. So this is Volume 2. Thank you to everybody for joining in the chat, obviously. Thank you to Michael Kormaroff, to Beerman, to Bumpy, to Miscellaneous. I appreciate you guys joining. Had a great time, as always, hanging out with you guys. Hope everybody has a great rest of their night. Enjoy your evenings. Let's get through the week. It is hump day. We got 2 more days to the weekend, so cheers to that. And we'll see you all on the next one. Until then, everybody, cheers.
See you.
Empty glass.
Yeah.